public health departments, to get particularly young people interested in health and social career.
Okay.
So we work with young people, and of course you know this, that there's a amount of there's a challenge there working with young people. Not everybody is ready to jump into a health and social care career, and it is a career. You go step by step, starting from entry-level position and working your way.
Do you feel over the years we have, certainly I think it's not just the Bangladeshi community, I feel the whole South Asian community, the Far Eastern community, obsession about the professions like being lawyers and doctors and the engineers, etc. And we neglect some of these other professions like you're talking about social care. And
I personally think there's nothing wrong with trying to become a doctor or an engineer or a professional. It's a good ambition to have. But also in a Western country like UK, the career opportunities are diverse. So even if you're a psychiatrist, it's a wonderful career option. If you're a fitness instructor, there are so many opportunities out there. If you want to be a sports person, it opens up a whole new area of career opportunities. So I think as a community, we are not exploring those areas enough.
okay.
And we need to start.
And is this something that you do at the Stifford Centre, that opening up opportunities for
We
people
do.
to actually see what is available to them?
To give an
as an option.
example, our community partners, West Ham United Community Sports Trust,
Okay.
and we work with them in terms of delivering sports leadership qualifications in the community.
And how long have you been doing that?
We started from 1.5 years ago, and the program has become immensely successful.
Okay.
So in partnership with West Ham and also BFA, and also with Osmani Trust, we are hoping to launch a massive sports and well-being program, hopefully within the next few months.
Okay, we can come back and talk about that. So if I can go back to Ababai, I'm assuming you're a volunteer secretary, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about your role and the board. I'm assuming there's a board or a committee that oversees the Stifford Centre.
Yeah, definitely. We do have board members, and we have chairs, secretary, treasurers, vice and assistants, and the executive members with the co-op members.
How often are you involved on a day-to-day basis in terms of the running, or do you just meet once a month?
In terms of the running, mostly the office, we call it honorary officers, which are the chair, secretary, treasurers, and the assistants.
Yeah.
We get to work quite oftenly along with our center manager, overseeing how the project is running and where it needed most, and if there is any lacking of providing service to the local community, because we have the better understanding of the local community because we live in the community.
Yeah.
So we just don't give it to the center manager and sit quietly. We have our own responsibility to make sure everything going as accordingly. And we have tremendous board members, and I have some, quite elderly board members whom I, admire their works, and in past I've seen their work, so that's why I have become more involved within the centers, and I've seen there's a lot of scopes which with my experience, I can expand that services within the community much more.
I think that is one of the most important thing about our community. There is this togetherness in a way.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of us who give a lot of voluntary time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas we all lead very, very busy lives, but yet we still make the time to volunteer time. We're just going to go for a very short break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we continue the conversation, in particular, find out a little bit more about what the two of you are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a very short break. This evening we're talking to representatives of the Stifford Centre, and in particular focusing on health and well-being, arguably one of the most important things in our lives, looking after our health. So please don't go away, we'll be back very, very shortly.
আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি ম্যাটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
অবশেষে সুপারি এক্সপার্ট ইন্দাজালের সন্ধান পাওয়া গেছে। আমরা এখন ওনার সঙ্গে কথা বলবো। স্যার, আমরা আপনার কাছ থেকে পান সুপারির ইতিহাস জানতে চাই। আচ্ছা স্যার, আপনার মতে বাজারে সবচেয়ে ভালো সুপারি কোনটি?
হোয়াইট স্টার সুপারি, এক্সপার্ট চয়েস। আপনার নিকটস্থ গ্রোসারি শপে খোঁজ নিন।
Wedding screen coming soon.
Edmonton Quality Foods, Halal Butcher and Cash and Carry, 35 Bounces Road, London, N98JD। তাজা শাকসবজি আর রেস্টুরেন্টের সরঞ্জাম সমারোহ, গ্যারান্টিড হালাল মিট এবং চিকেন। 3টা ইলিশ 10 পাউন্ড, 2টা রুই 10 পাউন্ড, 2টা বড় বেবি চিকেন 5 পাউন্ড 99p, 4টা তান্দুরি চিকেন 10 পাউন্ড। আরও রয়েছে বিভিন্ন আকর্ষণীয় মূল্য ছাড়। আজই আসুন এবং মনোরম পরিবেশে শপিং করুন। এডমন্টন কোয়ালিটি ফুডস, স্বল্প মূল্যে ভালো কোয়ালিটি আমাদের অঙ্গীকার। কেএনবি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মানি ট্রান্সফার, আমরা স্বল্প খরচে দ্রুত ও নিরাপদে বাংলাদেশে টাকা প্রেরণ করে থাকি। বর্তমানে আমাদের কার্ডিফ এবং বার্মিংহামে নিজস্ব 2টি অফিস রয়েছে। কেএনবি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মানি ট্রান্সফার, 88 ক্যালিডোনিয়ান রোড, লন্ডন, N1 9DN। ফোন 0207 837 7227।
Do you have any property issues? Buy, sale, transfer, home or business? Do you want to know your housing and benefit rights? Do you have any business and landlord-tenant dispute? Or need advice from immigration specialist?
Call J. Stewart Law Solicitors for a professional legal service. We are reliable and specialized.
Working for justice.
तू ही ये मुझको बता दे, चाहूं मैं आना।
Friends Jewelers, the most reliable and authentic, serving the community over 40 years. Exciting designs, specialist in platinum and diamond jewelry. Friends Jewelers Limited, Cape Hill, Smethwick, Birmingham. After the popular success of Birmingham, Iqbal's Banqueting Suite is now in Manchester. New, fresh and modern decor with the state-of-the-art lighting make Iqbal's Banqueting Suite the venue for your next function. Iqbal's Banqueting Suite provides you the full party decor and a range of catering options. Iqbal's Banqueting Suite, Longside, Manchester.
Why did you plan to dine out tonight?
That's a surprise for you, my dear.
What is it?
Hi, mate. How's it going?
I've been dreaming of tonight, waiting for this moment to arrive, just to say I love you, to give you all a man can give you. I would do anything to bring my dream alive tonight.
দিনের শুরুই হয় প্রাণ টোস্ট দিয়ে।
আম্মু, সাথে তো জেলি।
অফিসে কলিগরাও খাবে, দুটো বেশি দিও।
বৌমা, সাথে 1 কাপ চা।
আর এটা আমার জন্য।
হাই প্রোটিন সম্পন্ন, হেলদি ও মচমচে প্রাণ টোস্ট।
হেলদি ফ্যামিলির জন্য প্রতিদিন হেলদি প্রাণ টোস্ট।
ইস্টার্ন মানি ট্রান্সফার অ্যান্ড ট্রাভেলস, লেস্টার এবং লাভবরায় একমাত্র বাংলাদেশি ট্রাভেল এজেন্সি। এয়ার টিকেট, মানি ট্রান্সফার, কার্গো সার্ভিস এবং হজ ও উমরাহ প্যাকেজ। আপনার সেবায় আমাদের 24 ঘন্টা কল সেন্টার 01509 381122।
An accident can be a traumatic experience. It gets even worse when the bills pile up while you wait for your compensation. General Auto Services will give you £1,000 up front and help you every step of the way with your claim. Contact us to find out more.
ক্যাপিটাল ট্রাভেল অ্যান্ড ফাইন্যান্সের সৌজন্যে আজকের টাকার রেট।
Are you applying for credit and being refused? You're not alone. Every day, thousands of people across the UK apply for loans, credit cards, mortgages, mobile phones, car loans and other credit facilities and are turned down because of bad credit history. Victor Stone's credit repair service could help rebuild your credit history so you can obtain credit in the future. Give us a call to find out your chances of repairing your credit file and improve your credit scoring.
Victor Stone Financial Management.
Call Victor Stone on 0845 050 4541 and take the first steps to a brighter financial future.
আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি মেটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
Welcome back to part 2 of Community Matters. This evening we are discussing with our panel members health and well-being and the importance of our health. I'm just going to carry on the conversation with John Rubai, who's one of the program managers at the Stifford Centre. Please tell us, elaborate a bit more on some of the programs you discussed a little bit earlier. What do you actually do, and what's the centre offering, and what's been some of the impact of some of the programs?
Okay, in terms of the programs I do related to today's topics, we have the Health Champions.
Yeah.
Where
what does that mean? And
that means these are virtual volunteers. They volunteer for a 6-month program where they come in, we train them in health-related issues. They get RSPH level 2 in health, and throughout that 6-month program, we structure their career where they do a lot of outreach work. They go to events, for example, idea stores, promote health in terms of, for example, helping people to stop smoking, enroll them to programs, healthy eating programs. We have something like cook and eat session where every week, twice a week, a lady comes in, shows people how to cook in a more healthier way. How to cook without oil, or how to cook something, even a curry, we could be much healthier. These are programs we run. I also look after the Volunteers Project, where we help every year about 40 people plus to come and learn about different, get the experience they need, for example, on IT, reception work, and administration work.
How long is each of them programs?
These programs, minimum 3 months.
3 months.
But it's really up to the individual if they want to stay longer. I'm happy with that.
And the health trainers you talked about earlier, or health champions?
Champions, yeah.
That's a 6-month program?
That's a 6-month program.
Who is it open to? Anybody who just lives locally, or anybody who lives anywhere?
Normally open to local residents, but if someone wants to come in from outside the borough and we have room available, we're not going to tell them.
Is this something that's unique to Tower Hamlets, or is this kind of thing going on around the country?
I think it's
a national
unique.
program.
It's a national program.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, only this week we recruited another 20 volunteers, health champions.
Okay. And how many do you normally have over a duration of a year?
Over a year, you talk about about 40. 20 each 6 months throughout the whole, Tower Hamlets.
Okay. And what kind of people are you normally getting? The age groups, genders?
With health champions, the age is quite a good range, really, to be honest. We have people from 18 to, last person was probably about 40, 50, 55? 55, so different ages.
So once they've trained up for 6 months, what do they usually go on to?
Some of them get employment. A lot of our volunteers are quite successful in securing employments because of the experience they get from us. We cover a lot of projects and a range of work we do. When they volunteer with us, they pick up a lot of skills which they might not pick up in a small organization. So they are very they have good opportunity to secure jobs. At least 20% of our volunteers, whether normal volunteers or health champions, are quite successful.
Do you see people where they get some personal benefit themselves in terms of the way they eat, the way they exercise? Has that been something, another kind of side benefit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, generally, the message that we give out is all about diet, nutrition, about adopting a healthy lifestyle. And the health champions, the health trainers, they're trained to go out there and talk to people, advise them on a step-by-step progression to healthy lifestyle. And it doesn't happen overnight.
Of course.
To give an example, the first day the cook and eat session happened, The lady came in and cooked without oil. What she actually did was, if you're using say broiler chicken, there's a lot of oil in the chicken itself. And if you know how to cook properly, you will be able to use that oil from the chicken to cook the chicken. And it was an astonishing feat on that day. The women were looking at it and said, how is this possible? And when they saw it, they were, I can do that at home. Exactly. It's not rocket science.
I think many of the programs, that's exactly what it's about, people seeing examples.
Absolutely.
That they can relate to and then take it back, and that's how the slow steps that you're talking about.
Yep. What we do is we give out recipes. It's available in our website as well. And then there are reinforcement messages going along. One interesting program is the health champions are going to visit the local Billingsgate fish market. And they're going to pick up the fish of the day, come back and do a healthy recipe with it. So these are some of the innovative aspects.
Sounds very interesting. Of the project. Certainly, you need to let me know when that is. I will be your official food taster. I'll come back to Nazia. You've talked a little bit about how you got into the whole health and fitness kind of regime that you have. Tell us a little bit more about your work that you're actually doing at the moment. What do you do?
So at the moment, I'm a freelancer. I'm mainly based in East Ham, and it's a ladies only gym called Muscle Mania Gym. So if you're out there, you can come and visit me there. My own business is called Lazy Beauty Workout. So like my page on Facebook, loads of stuff on there. So what do I do on a day-to-day basis? It varies. Okay, that's what I love about my job. I have girls that come in, and everybody comes in with a story. Everybody thinks health and fitness is about losing weight, and this is why I try to say to girls, it's not always about losing weight. You come into the gym, you need to know how to move. You need to know how to actually use your own limbs and joints and your own body in itself to actually get the workout done. If your core isn't engaged, if your back is weak, what are you going to do? You're going to end up hurting yourself in the process of training. So what happens is a lot of girls come in with this idea of trying to lose weight. I take them on a different program because there's so much other things that they need to work on. Essentially what I find out with a lot of the girls is it's all up here. It's all up here. For me anyway as well, it was a mental thing, it was a psychological thing. And it was almost like a challenge within myself, my ego taking over saying, I have to do this, I have to get another rep done, another set done. So my day-to-day basis just goes from one client to another. Somebody may come in with a headache, somebody may come in saying they are full of remorse for having the cake beforehand. How do I go into changing that phase of thinking? Because I've done it myself a lot of times, and most of the time what I do with my clients is I do experiments on myself. So this last 3 weeks, what I've been trying to do,
I'm guessing that you've been having cake for 3 weeks.
Oh my God, for the whole of January.
Is that what you did?
I'm not going to lie, I did. I'm human first, a personal trainer, a transformational coach second, okay? And we're humans, and this is what happens when you are doing the same thing all your life. It's a natural thing to do it. I have a downfall of liking cakes and chocolate. I'm not going to deny that. So the best part of January, I keep a record. I update my Facebook all the time to say, this is what's happening. This is what's happening to my body. I feel like this, etc., etc. The last 3 weeks, I have a personal trainer, by the way. I work with her. And it's eliminating things that is not so good for us. Can I just quickly explain? For example, you mentioned you have cereal in the morning. And that for me is, for the wheat that's in there, the human body doesn't process wheat and gluten. So I've been trying to avoid sugar, honey, processed food, wheat, gluten. None of those things that I normally have that gives me the pleasure. And what I have done is have one treat day. And it's all psychological. If I say to myself, I can't have that piece of cake, what is my brain going to say? I want that piece of cake. One of my trainers last week, she said something so profound. What we put in our mouth first goes up to our brain, then goes to our body and our muscles. And if you think about it, when we wake up the next morning after having the rice and curry the night before, we're not exactly energetic, are we? We're not exactly getting up out of bed like a spring chicken.
What should we be having before you go to bed, especially late at night? So like we always seem to have our meals so late.
See what the Bangladeshi community do, I'm generalizing here, but going from what you just told me before, we love to have rice and curry. Now in Bangladesh, we can afford to have rice and curry because the people are working, they are out in the field, they're all constantly moving. Now in this country where we are very, very
sedentary
sit down,
lifestyle.
focus on television, no reading books, everything's fast paced, everything's there, convenience of our hands. So we're not doing nothing, we're not using that energy up. So what's going to happen? You are going to end up putting on weight. So if I'm going home tonight, what am I going to be eating? You ask me. It will be grilled chicken, either fish, with a bit of couscous and salad. I have rice and curry maybe once every 2 months, and my mum gets upset.
What about you, gentlemen? Could you live with rice and curry just once every week?
I couldn't live without rice and curry.
You couldn't.
I have
but
to
it
have
is a
it,
major.
but
She has a very good point about the whole issue
Mm.
of our diet. And surely, with all the health-related stuff that you're doing,
I think
what are we trying to educate our people?
One key message Nazia has mentioned is it's everything should be in moderation.
Absolutely.
And that's the key word. Of course, you need to indulge yourself from time to time. And those cakes and sweets and chocolate biscuits,
It's all the
yes, of course,
discipline
why not? But
in moderation.
also in moderation.
It's a discipline aspect that comes into it. And it takes 21 days for the brain to do something different, or learn a new hobby, or learn a new habit.
I was reading, I think there's a few people I know who are a bit of an insomniac, and I was reading up on insomnia and in terms of your body with everything, whether we're eating or whether we're waking up or whether we're going to sleep, your body needs to be conditioned.
Exactly.
So it takes a little bit of time to do that conditioning for it to know that this is when we go to sleep, this is when we wake up, this is when we should eat it.
So the body between 10 to 1 o'clock, say, we're repairing ourselves mentally. From 2 o'clock till say about 4 o'clock, physically repairing. Now if you're going to sleep, for example, 1 o'clock at night, you've taken away the mental repair. Your body's physically repairing. Now you're going to wake up tomorrow physically feeling good, but up here you're feeling, I'm not feeling motivated, feel a bit dull.
What about those people who's going to say, you know what, I've been doing this for years and it's worked fine for me. Who are you to tell me kind of that this is the way the body
Those
works?
are the most challenging people, okay? Especially parents, because you're so fixated in doing something all your life, and if you try to introduce a different source or a different diet, automatically it's like, I don't want to do this, I know best. I do it even myself, but it's all about having an open mind and approaching. It's not even just a change for a day, is it? It's a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
And this is why I say to females, my niche group is females, because we are what I call, we breed the children. So we need to be able to have the information at hand to know what my child is going to be fed, is going to be the best nutrition. If he's going to school, he has that mental capacity to be able to do the education, to study, you know, going to college, going to school, being able to have the right energy.
I suppose it's really important then, say, the mothers, especially you're talking about young children. I know a number of cases where a lot of studies have actually proven also kids going to breakfast class, generally speaking, improve those kids' results.
Yeah.
But there are many kids, I'm sure, who in the morning they're rushing a little bit late, they probably don't have breakfast, and the impact that has for the rest of the day for the children. And if that's the kind of habit you pick up and you continue doing it, one is you don't have something in the mornings and then you seem to eat late. Everything just seems to add up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
John Bell, go on.
One key problem in our society is that, particularly with the Bangladeshi community, is we tend to eat late, and we don't have.
Why do you think that's happened? Is it purely because of the kind of employment we've had, or why is it that we, generally speaking, not everybody
I think
does it, but
it's a bit cultural.
It's a culture.
I believe it started because, particularly from the Islamic point of view, everybody wants to, the entire family comes back from work, sits down, has the dinner together. So there is a nice aspect to it. But at the same time, I think over the years, we have forgotten how important it is to have our meal on time. So it probably back in the 60s, it started at 7 p.m. and then we said, okay, let's push it to 7:30. Oh, okay, my son is coming late, let's push it to 8. And then before we know it, dinner is at 10.
But you've got a professional family, you've got kids to go to school, and you've got a professional job,
I think
you've got to wake up at 7
got
in
a
the
lot
morning.
to do with visual, as Salman Bhai said, obviously, is a combination. Because if you look at our culture, our people, they trade day in, restaurant, well, forget the restaurant because they come once a week anyway. But if you look at a grocery shop, what time they close? 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Especially around this part of the world. We need to take a very
Okay.
quick break. And then we're going to come back. So we're having a discussion on health and well-being and how important it is that we actually take time in terms of exercise, fitness, in terms of what we eat. Do stay with us for the final part. We have more conversation with our guests from the Stifford Centre and Nazia here. So do stay with us. We'll be back very shortly.
আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি মেটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
দীর্ঘ 19 বছর ধরে আইনি পেশায় জড়িত মোহাম্মদ কামরুল হাসান এখন নিউ রোডে ইমিগ্রেশন, অ্যাসাইলাম ও হিউম্যান রাইটস সহ ফ্যামিলি ম্যাটার, ডিভোর্স, সিভিল লিটিগেশন, ল্যান্ডলর্ড অ্যান্ড টেনেন্ট সহ যে কোনো আইনি পরামর্শের জন্য আজই যোগাযোগ করুন মোহাম্মদ কামরুল হাসান, MQ হাসান সলিসিটর্স, 37 নিউ রোড, লন্ডন E1। ফোন 02074260258।
বাংলাদেশের দ্বিতীয় বৃহত্তম সরকারি বাণিজ্যিক ব্যাংক জনতা ব্যাংক লিমিটেডের মালিকানাধীন জনতা এক্সচেঞ্জ কোম্পানি SRL ইটালি সর্বনিম্ন খরচে মাত্র 3 ইউরোতে আপনার দেশে টাকা পাঠাতে পারেন। পিন নাম্বারের মাধ্যমে আপনার টাকা পৌঁছে দেওয়ার নিশ্চয়তা সহ আপনি ইতালি থেকে জনতা ব্যাংকের যে কোনো শাখায় অ্যাকাউন্ট খোলা এবং লাভজনক হিসাব বিনিয়োগ করতে পারেন। এছাড়াও রয়েছে বন্ড ও সঞ্চয়পত্র সংগ্রহ করার বিশেষ সুবিধা। রুম অফিস পিয়াসা ভিক্টোরিও, মিলানো অফিস পিয়াসা কাইয়াসো। জনতা এক্সচেঞ্জ কোম্পানি SRL ইটালি অভিজ্ঞ ব্যাংকার দ্বারা পরিচালিত।
ইতালিতে ICC কার্গো রোমা মানেই সম্পূর্ণ নির্ভরযোগ্যতা, ICC কার্গো রোমা মানেই পূর্ণ নিশ্চয়তা, ICC কার্গো রোমা মানেই দক্ষতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। ICC কার্গো রোমা, পিয়াজ্জা ভিক্টোরিও, রোম, ইটালি।
ফ্লাইট কনসেপ্টের স্পেশাল ওমরা অফার। আমরা নিজস্ব তত্ত্বাবধানে পবিত্র মক্কা ও মদিনায় 3, 4 এবং 5 স্টার হোটেল প্যাকেজ, টিকিট ও ওমরা ভিসা দ্রুততার সাথে করে থাকি। ওমরা প্যাকেজ এবং যে কোনো দেশের টিকিটের জন্য ফোন করুন দিনরাত 24 ঘন্টা 02073750055।
UK Shari Center end of the year mega sale up to 70% discount. Enter stock must be clear.
Udi by Al Haramain Perfumes.
একদিন ছেলে বিদেশে যায়, যথারীতি টাকাও পাঠায়, কিন্তু টাকা আর আসে না।
ভাইয়ের ফোন। বাবা,
যখন আসে তখন সব শেষ। এখন সেই দিন আর নাই।
ন্যাশনাল এক্সচেঞ্জের মাধ্যমে একদিনের মধ্যে ইতালি থেকে টাকা আসে বাংলাদেশের যে কোনো প্রান্তে। ন্যাশনাল এক্সচেঞ্জ কোম্পানি।
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा।
Gold City Jeweler, the most recommended Asian jeweler, also specialist in diamond and platinum jewelry. 367 Stratford Road, Spark Hill, Birmingham. Gold City.
নাও পেজ ইকো সিম দিয়ে কম খরচে বাংলাদেশে কল করুন। ল্যান্ডলাইন 3p এবং মোবাইলে 4p পার মিনিট। এছাড়াও মাত্র 15 পাউন্ডে টক এন্ড টেক্সট বান্ডেল সাথে আনলিমিটেড ইন্টারনেট। আপনার ফ্রি সিমের জন্য লগ ইন করুন www.nowpayg.co.uk অথবা টপ আপ করুন নিচের স্টোরগুলোর যে কোনোটিতে। নাও আপনার কথা বলে।
সিম্পল ট্রাভেল, বাংলাদেশ যেতে সুলভ টিকিট ও আরামদায়ক ভ্রমণে। সিম্পল ট্রাভেল ফর বেটার জার্নি। বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন 02035 700 200।
এক প্রাণীর ছোঁয়ায়
তোমাকে পেয়েছি, প্রাণ চানাচুর, প্রাণ চানাচুর, সবার হাতে প্রাণ চানাচুর।
প্রাণ চানাচুর মজাই মজা।
বিসমিল্লা বেকারি বিভিন্ন অনুষ্ঠানের জন্য কেক স্পেশালিস্ট। আমাদের দক্ষ কারিগর উন্নত মানের উপকরণ ব্যবহার করে আপনাদের জন্য সুস্বাদু কেক তৈরি করে। আমরা বিয়ে, জন্মদিন এবং বিভিন্ন ধরনের কর্পোরেট অনুষ্ঠানে কেক সরবরাহ করে থাকি। শুধু তাই নয়, আমাদের রয়েছে হজ, ওমরা এবং রমজান মুবারক কেক। বার্মিংহামে আমাদের অনেকগুলো ব্রাঞ্চ রয়েছে। অর্ডারের জন্য আজই যোগাযোগ করুন www.bismillabakery.com।
Keep up with Europe and Asia current affairs on News Euro-Asia every Saturday at 7:15 p.m. only on NTV.
আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি মেটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
Welcome back to the third and final part of this evening's Community Matters. We are discussing health and well-being. On the show, we have a number of staff at the Stifford Centre, based in Stepney Green in Tower Hamlets. As we try and do on this program, we want to try and get a cross-section of our community that we can have discussions with on various different topics. So if you're watching us anywhere up north, and whether it's Newcastle or Leeds or Manchester or Birmingham, please do get in touch with us. If you are doing something or working in a particular organization and you want to talk about the work that you're doing and highlight some of the work that you do, please do get in touch with NTV. Or I have a Facebook page called NTV Community Matters. You're more than welcome to follow us and get in touch with me, and we'd love to see you here having a conversation with the rest of the country and across Europe. So continuing this conversation with our colleagues here from the Stifford Centre. John Baby, as a program manager, we touched on some of the work that you're doing. Can you tell us a bit more about some of the work that you're currently doing and some of the stuff that you are likely to do in the near future?
At the moment, we started a new program, yoga, at Stifford Centre, related to health.
How successful?
It's very successful. In the first
for men as well, isn't it?
For men, it's for men. We thought we'd try with the men first. You have the. I think first couple of weeks there was low turn up, but now we are packed. We don't have enough room to be, and we have about 20 people. A hall can just about take 20
What's happened from the start to where you are now? Why is there suddenly more people?
I think because initially when the people came in, they realized the benefits, and they told their friends and neighbors, and then suddenly there was influx of people coming in. I go there, some of my goes there. One of our existing member, who's probably is a pensioner, he's been the first one and he's still gone there. So I think when people realize the benefits, they tend to go, you can't stop them. So I think that's why we need to tell people that certain things.
Isn't that the same with everything? You talked about exercise quite a lot. This is about we have to individually realize the importance of something and how it'll impact on our lives in a positive way. Yeah. Then all of a sudden we want to do more.
I mean, I want to give another example. I started myself. You know, we talked earlier about making small steps. I think we need, condition our body and our mind. A couple of months ago, I started, as an office worker, obviously, at lunchtime, you normally go Sainsbury's, get a sandwich with all these mayonnaise and everything in there. So I thought, no, I need to be more healthier. So I started going to Sainsbury's on Monday morning buying fruits. So at lunchtime, I have fruits. We have a lunch club in our centre. We have lovely curry they make lunchtime. I try to avoid that because I know in the long term it's beneficial for me to be healthier. And I think in the last couple of months I probably lost some weight as well. People do say you look healthier.
Congratulations.
So my belt is much looser. So
Let me tell you a little story. I've just come back from holiday and I met this really inspirational lady who has told me a story about how she actually stopped doing things incrementally. So she was saying taking 3 Cokes, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. And for a month she stopped. And just by stopping these sodas, the carbonated drink, You saw their impact. So what you should have done, I think, you need to weigh yourself. And I think we need to be able to see the tangible benefits of some of the things that we're doing. So if we're going to change our diet, we're going to do some fitness, we want to be able to see, is it having an impact?
Well, this is the thing, every single one of our bodies are different. You may be able to eat certain things, this gentleman may not be able to eat and not feel horrible about it. Like a lot of the things that we have in carbs nowadays, the stodgy stuff, makes us bloated. Now, my experiment for the last 2 weeks was actually getting rid of all this stodgy stuff like bread, pasta. I feel like...
Well, how do you find out what your body can take and not take?
Well,
do you need professional advice, or can we do it by ourselves?
A lot of people, because you've been doing it for so long, you don't even realize it until you take it out. And you're like, wow, I actually feel different. And so when the girls come in, everybody's body is different. No two workers are the same. No two bodies are the same. And like, I forgot your name. Ababai, you said it all comes with body confidence and self-image. We're so fixated about how we look. Do we look nice in this? It's how we feel inside. And fitness is why I say, and I preach this with all my heart, from fitness, there's so many benefits. It's not just about looking good. It's not just about putting the skinny pairs of jeans. It's about that, it's what gives you the confidence, that push to say, life is enough, life is good, and you feel good within yourself, within your own skin. And I think a lot of females forget how to actually appreciate themselves. So when I actually work in Muscle Mania in the ladies' gym, and what lazy beauty stands for as well is actually, we're in a fast-paced society. Lazy beauty workout means short time, maximum output. Not a lot of people want to spend an hour or 2 hours in the gym. So you can actually literally do a 30-minute workout and get the best results.
Say that they might not be able to go to your particular gym. They might not have your services. Is there things that we can do at home?
Actually, there are somewhere like in the last few months I've been researching. There's DVDs you can buy.
Yes.
I got a DVD actually. 20 minutes workout. It's called Insanity.
Oh, that's a great one, isn't it?
Every 20 minutes.
I've been doing that.
I've been doing that.
Be careful of your joints.
But there's two of them. One of them is quite intense. I'm not on the intense one. I'm on the 20 minutes one, not the half an hour one. I have got both of them. But you know, the benefits you see straight away. You're sweating like anything. I even put the weight on just to make sure I sweat. So once you do it for 20 minutes, obviously it's taking a bit longer. I have more pauses because I get out of breath. But that's one of the reasons I lost weight, I think, last few months, because I had a video for about 3 months, but obviously because I do lots of other healthy activities, like I do, on Monday I do badminton, Tuesday yoga, one of the week I do gym. So I try to get the video in my routine. So people can make small steps. You can buy this on Argos, you can go to online shopping. There's loads of ladies.
There are many DVDs that you can buy.
20 minutes.
I think the whole conversation is around, I think, generally speaking, I would say you can only bring about change when you really want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there is, most importantly, there's only one person in your life who can really change things. That's you. So you've got to want it. So your organization, the Stifford Centers, is based in Stepney Green in Tower Hamlets, but Tower Hamlets is littered with other organizations. Very much like the organization I work for in Idea Store Learning. There are all the Idea Stores. There are lots of health-related programs. There are lots of fitness-related programs. So the people in this particular bar, I think, are very, very lucky in terms of options available to them. But I'm sure it's the same wherever you live in your local authorities. There will be organizations or community-based organizations who are there to help you, whether it is fitness-related, whether it's health-related. You've got to want that step, and you go and approach the organization to try.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are very lucky in Tower Hamlets because there's a very strong voluntary sector. The local authority has invested a lot of fund towards supporting people into healthy lifestyle. We have a very determined public health department who also has a vision of changing, helping people to adopt a healthier lifestyle. So all that helps. But a very important point, it's not just Stifford Center. We work in partnership with wider community organizations. And what we do is we work jointly in collaboration so that we can make that difference. It's impossible for one organization to create that impact. So it's very important that whoever is out there, we work along with them to send that right message to our communities. This is really important. Coming back to a point that John mentioned, and this is sometimes people overlook this key aspect. As human beings, sometimes we like group exercise, and particularly within the Asian community, we are more geared towards group exercises. We are football fanatics, and a lot of young people tend to go towards that. It's important to balance your physical fitness activities. If you are into team sports, don't give that up, but also at the same time, keep a little bit of time for other activities, something unrelated to your core fitness session. Football gives you a certain amount of exercise for certain muscles and joints. If you take up yoga or Pilates or something else, that will help you to build up another level of muscles. And that is really important for your body. So this is something I think our users and the community out there should really think about.
However, as we come to the end of the program, is there a message you want to give to our viewers in terms of what we all individually can do to live that slightly healthier lifestyle?
Yeah, Farag, you have already mentioned that we are lucky, fortunate enough that we live in Tower Hamlet, and we have number of organizations within the Tower Hamlet, and the local government have been providing the funds to carry out these projects. But the main important is that the local people, and if they don't get engaged within their local community centers and get this benefit from that funding which have been provided by the local council, then it's not successful.
This is a very important message, is that in hard times that we live in right now,
that's right.
If money is going towards investing in local communities and people are not taking
advantage of it,
then the likely chances are those kind of funding is not sustainable, and you will sooner or later cease.
I would request all the members within the community, especially our sisters who have been mostly stay home, and they think their daily part of life is cooking and keeping up the house clean and raising the children. But there are beyond this.
Those are very noble things to do. Don't want to wind away because we're coming to the end of the program. Tell us about a little bit, you talked about our sisters, our mothers, etc. How can we engage with them more? How can they come and get engaged with you more, or the local organizations where they live?
Well, I mean, Stevenson, as I said, runs loads of programs. So with the Health Trainers program and Health Champions and the volunteering programs, where they can come and pop into the center, call us, or we have lots of events that we run in idea stores, other events.
Do you have opportunities where people can sample and have a look at what you're doing rather than just signing up to a 6-month program?
Exactly. They could come to any of our programs. They could come to yoga, they could women's session, they do swimming, they do
and
other.
Not to mention our website and Facebook page.
Exactly, yeah, our website and Facebook, all the information is there. So, and they could
moving with technology, that's good. What about you? Is there a final message that you want to give? What can we do to get people more engaged, and what can, give us one tip, one thing that we can do tomorrow that will help us all?
The best thing to do and the best free advice you will get from me is drink water. Water is free, it's on the tap, so just drink a lot of water. Keeps you hydrated, good for the skin, hair, and then come back to Lazy
Get rid
Beauty.
of all the carbonated drinks.
Exactly. And my last message is like my Facebook page, Lazy Beauty Workouts. Follow me. Loads of advice there as well.
We might be able to. What if we wanted you to be here in Tower Hamlets and help us out in?
I actually do work with My Way project.
Okay.
So I've already started in Tower Hamlets. Okay. So you just got to pay me
we'll
a lot of
bring
money
you here
and I'll be here.
This is the center of our world, isn't it?
Money's fee.
All right. Samava, any final thoughts from you in terms of the work that you do and how you might want to engage with your local community?
We have a number of programs coming up for local community. As I mentioned, that we're working with wider partnerships now to kickstart new initiatives for 2014. So if you've adopted a New Year resolution, there are things coming. Keep an eye on our Facebook. And of course, the message from me is stay healthy and help others to be healthy.
Okay. Thank you, Salman Mai. Awawai, Janubai, Nazir, thank you so much for coming in. I hope you've enjoyed this evening's discussion on health and well-being. As I mentioned, Stifford Centre is just one of the organisations who are based in Tower Hamlets. But I'd love to have other organisations that are within London. So whether you live in Newham and you know an organisation who work there, whether it's Redbridge or Waltham Forest or our friends in Westminster or Camden, wherever you live in, if you're in London, get in touch with us. It's easy for you to come here. But I'd love to see people outside of London as well. So Birmingham people, Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle, please get in touch with us. We'd love to see more people here discussing what is going on in your local community. Stay healthy. Good night.
এরপর দেখবেন ধারাবাহিক নাটক নীড়।
সৌজন্যে রিজেন লেক ব্যাংকুয়েটিং ভেন্যু,